Hey babe, welcome back. Thank you once again for joining us. Just remember, I have no medical background. I am not a psychologist. I'm just a girl who's lived life and happy to share her experiences. Enjoy. Hey babe, how you doing? Welcome back. Welcome back. How's the week? I'm glad today the sun is out a little bit. It's a bit chilly, but it's actually okay. We can handle this kind of weather. Yeah, so I'm back. My name is Thembie from I Think I Write, I Think I Pray, and I Think I Read. And we continue with our topic this week on dreaming big, on big dreams. Dreaming big, yeah. And today I want to talk about big dreams and small wins. How we can have the spectacular dream that we want. We can have that big, huge thing that we want, but we can celebrate every small win as we are getting there. Because if we try and eat the elephant whole, we might just choke or we might just fall apart. We eat the elephant a teaspoon at a time, don't we? And we enjoy and we savor each teaspoon as we have it. So as I was thinking about this, I realized, or I remembered, and I recalled a time when I had lost all hope for life, as I've said before. And I'd woken up and I had no plan for the next day. Like I literally didn't know what I was going to do, why I was going to do it, and whether it was even worth doing it. I looked at my children when they were brought back to me, and I didn't know what kind of a mother I was going to be. But what then happened is I walked into a store and I saw this poster. And this poster depicted something that had just happened to an individual, and this person was extremely happy. And for the first time, I realized that I could be that. I realized that I could be as happy as they were. And I asked myself, what would make me that happy? Now, this poster was of a person who had won the OK Grand Challenge, if you know what that is. And I didn't think I could win the OK Grand Challenge because at that point, that wasn't what I wanted. But I felt like if I received some kind of a windfall, my life would fall into place. Windfall such as the lottery, windfall such as an inheritance, anything that would come as a lump sum of money. I wanted that to happen. And if it happened, things would fall into place according to me. That was the first glimmer of hope that I had. Save for the fact that when I'd gone to my counseling sessions and my psychiatry sessions, so my psychiatrist had suggested certain things and my counselor had suggested other things. And amongst the things that my counselor had suggested was playing the lottery. And she wasn't saying to me, go out and play the lottery. She said, some people play the lottery just to give them hope. Remember, I had lost all sense of hope. And I remember thinking, that felt safe to me because I'd seen that poster. So that felt safe to me. Let me play the lotto. And I remember I would look at numbers and I would look at the wins and I would use those numbers and those wins and those amounts to imagine a different life from what had brought me to the point that I was at. So my big dream at that point was winning the lottery. Now, if you look at the South African lottery, you've got anything from 2 million to sometimes 100 and something million. Now, with those kinds of numbers, you dream. You begin to create a reality or a something that can happen, something that is possible in your head, regardless of all the stories you hear about scams and whatever, and what's that thing called? And this thing that we suffer from, this pandemic that we suffer from, corruption, that you hear. Those figures began to teach me or to help me to recreate a possible future. They began to help me to create something that I could live or could have, and they began to give me hope. Now, it sounds stupid, it sounds frivolous, I sound flaky, but I needed it. I needed to know that maybe one day I could win the lottery. And in doing that, obviously you begin to play a few games. And in playing a few games, most times you lose, but sometimes you win. And the win can be anything from 7 Rand, 5 Rand to the millions. My highest amount was like 50 Rand. No. My highest amount was like 100 and something Rand. It was like, yes, you know. Someone will say to me, yeah, but gambling is a sin. Of course. At that point, I just needed something to get me out. Whatever you want to call it, that thing helped me to get out. So I played that for a while. And as I would play, I would measure my levels of success versus my levels of failure. And one of the things I realized was that I was happier with my 10 Rand wins, with my $1 wins, because I was back home at that time. I was happier with that the losses didn't matter, because now I had found something that would give me hope. I'm talking about big dreams. I began to, work it out. Okay, so if a dollar win makes me happy, then maybe if I tried doing something else that gave me $1, it would make me happy too. I'd capture information. I would read about it. I would study about it. There's nothing you can tell me about sudden wealth syndrome. There's nothing you can tell me about anything to do with lotteries around the world, because I did my research. But what I didn't realize is that as I did that, what looked foolish, my mind began to open up. My brain began to open up. I began to see life again. I was willing to wake up the next day because I wanted to see who had won in Texas, or I wanted to see who had won in the UK lottery, or I wanted to see who had won in the Canadian lottery. Suddenly, the foolishness of thinking I could ever win the lottery became the reason for waking up. It became my reason for smiling. I would, talk to my kids with a different spark because, I just read this and I predicted it and it came, true, and I did the stupid, the foolish, and it began to work on me in a different way than anything else had ever worked. When I'd win, I would dance like it was the jackpot. I would have so much fun with myself and be like, yes, if I could get $1, if I could get 15 Rand, oh my gosh, what can I get next time? I would celebrate it and I would share it with my family members. And I suppose for them at that time, my mom and my brothers, I suppose for them at that time, it was good for them to just see me smile and have a bit of hope in my head. But you know what that did for me? It began a cycle that has been continuous ever since. There's a cycle in dreaming big that I've just mentioned, but I didn't mention the stages. I created thoughts, I created plans, I created possibilities. I tested them out by going out to play the game. I measured them by looking at how much I won and how much I didn't win, and how often it seemed I won in a month and how often it seemed I lost in a month. I captured information and I began to learn from every, angle that I could find. And I shared and I celebrated. And that's the thing about big dreams and small wins. When you dream big, you create a possibility. This could be possible. This could happen. But not only do you just leave it as a creation and an ideology and something that could happen in the sweet by and by, you begin to test it out. Say you want to be a mom, right? And I'm assuming married. I will assume married because I believe in that. You're not just going to dream about being a mom and not test out the theory by doing certain things that make you a mother. You're going to test it out. You're going to test out, okay, so if I get off my contraceptive and I do what I'm supposed to do, how long will it take me to fall pregnant? Say you want to start a business and this business is in clothing. I have a friend, follow her, I'll put her link in the bottom. Her name is, her shop name is Astioswear. I've known her for years. And she sells these amazing, clothes, and now she's gone into shoes and bags. But she started with shoes and bags. She would buy bags from a certain place and sell them to us. She tested out. She wanted to be a boutique owner. She wanted to be the next Louis Vuitton brand, out there. But how she tested it was buying a bag from someone and selling it to somebody else. And she just kept going. She would measure. I mean, you measure what you are supposed to achieve, or what you're trying to achieve. You buy the bag, sell it, and see if you've made profit. You go and buy the lottery ticket and check the numbers and see if you've won anything. You measure it. Is it growing? Is it worth it? Is it worth my time? You do it in the smallest steps. So say you want to be a mom. Clearly, measure. Did I go on my monthlies this month? The next thing that you would do is capture and learn. Capture the information. Put it down. I don't know how many booklets I have. I don't know how many spreadsheets I have on my laptop where I would capture amounts and budget them out. Capture it, literally capture. Yeah, today's jackpot is 85 million, right? I would tithe this much, okay? From that tithe, I would then buy this much property. Then I'd put this amount into my children's education. I'm capturing information. I'm literally planning it out. I'm literally making it a real thing. I'm learning around budgets. There's something that happened with me at that point. I learned so much about budgeting, about investing. I learned so much about taxes, things I didn't know, things that I wasn't aware of. What happens in South Africa when you get a certain amount of money? What happens in South Africa when, or in Zimbabwe, or in America, or in Canada, when you get a certain amount of money? What happens when somebody drops a large amount into your hands? What do you do? What happens when you hit it big? When you take your idea and you actually hit it big? So that I don't end up like those who within a year, within 2 years, within 5 years have lost everything. Capture the information. So, okay, fine, you want to be a mom. When you have the baby, how do you take care of babies? You're going to have to take your prenatal vitamins. You're going to have to take your natal, you're going to have to take certain irons, tablets. You're going to have to stop drinking. You're going to have to stop smoking. You're going to have to stop doing certain things in your life so that you can take care of this pregnancy. You begin to capture information and learn about it. It's the small things. You're doing the small things to achieve the big dream. But more so, you share. Share with people you trust. Celebrate small milestones, the smallest things. Like I said, I would celebrate $1. I'm trying to imagine David sitting in a field at some point and learning the first time how to make a catapult. It was probably not that strong, but he'd probably go and say, look to the other shepherd boys. Look what I did, look what I did. I managed to tie it like you tie it, and I managed to pull it, and I hit that thing. And it probably never used to hit much. His first sling probably never used to go that far, like pulling it probably used to snap. But you celebrate that moment. You celebrate it like you are celebrating the ultimate dream. I would celebrate small things like getting new sofas. I would celebrate small things like being able to go and buy groceries. I would celebrate, because remember, I'm dreaming in the multi-millions. Huh? I'm not dreaming lana kumatawa ne nkulunkulu. No. I was in the multi-millions. So I would celebrate going to buy bread. I bought bread today. I still do. Oh, by the way, I still do. I went to buy bread today. Some people would think that is stupid. No. For me, I share. Guys, I bought bread. Whether they clap hands for me or not is besides the point. I celebrate my small wins. Now, this becomes a cycle. You try it on one thing, it becomes a cycle on other things. It became a cycle the first day I wrote a page of my first book. It became a cycle the first day I posted something on my blog. It became a cycle the first day I posted something on Facebook that had to do with my face, because somewhere along the line I realized, ooh, I could brand my face. It became a cycle. It becomes a cycle. You create, you test it out, you measure it, you capture and you learn, you share and you celebrate. It becomes a cycle, but you begin to apply that cycle on new and different things, and different levels and different paces and different places and spaces. So my encouragement to you is to try it. Try and dream a ridiculous dream, and use that dream. Test yourself in that dream. Test what you would look like in that dream. Measure what it would cost you and what you would gain from walking in that dream or trying to achieve that dream. Capture information and learn about it, even if it seems foolish, even if it seems like, what is that? You want to be the next David Tlale. How? You want to be the next who? Vera Wang, winner. Capture it. Learn what she did. Learn how others do it. Find information about it. Put it together. Learn. But also share some of your little wins, because they will be there. Once you begin to attract something that is huge, little things just kind of come and stick onto you anyway. If you're headed to a big dream, you will find yourself somewhat attracting small wins. And those small wins are the ones that give you courage, the ones that give you energy, the ones that give you hopefulness, the ones that make you smile. They're the ones that, put you in a position where you're like, actually, this can be done. They are the ones that keep you going, keep you waking up, keep you trying again. They're the ones that keep you motivated. Thank you so much for joining me today. God bless you. I love you so much. Please like, share, subscribe, call others. Let's have a discussion. Let's talk about our silly big dreams in the comments. Just, say the stupidest of things. Guys, if I can tell you that I played and sometimes still do play the lottery, surely you can tell me what gets worse than that. What gets more stupid than that. But share with me. Let's talk about this on our journey, but let's appreciate the small little wins that we have on a day-to-day basis, on a week-to-week basis, on a month-to-month basis, because surely they are leading us in a direction that will leave us feeling like they that dreamed. I love you. God bless you. See you next week.